Hi, so I am Kirk James Semblante. I'm Associate Information Systems Strategy Consultant. So for today, I will be showing you the strategic plan for the Dadiangas General Hospital, and I am also developing it. So first is the vision of the Dadiangas. So exceptional care and also quality healthcare with compassion. So next is their mission to provide the highest quality care and experience for the patient and their family. So this would be their SWOT analysis. You can just pause this slide and read the data. Next is the learning and growth perspective. So we have here for the learning and growth goals, we have the develop quality medical healthcare, which is the key performance indicator would be medical assistance and also ensure availability of doctors. And lastly would be the hospital approach. So the targets would be 10 clinics should be established for physician and specialist. Secondly is the ensure the in and out of physician and specialist. And lastly would be the best recommendation of doctors. Meanwhile, on the assessing highly skilled management teams, we have the appointing experience professionals, and on the target, we have the degree holder and at least a 2 years experience on the management skill. Next would be the meeting department heads of the hospital. The target would be one must serve a number of years in the DGH before being qualified. Next would be the internal processes perspective. In the initial process goal, we have the availability of advanced technology and other medical equipments. And the targets would be replacement and also upgrade for the equipments of the hospital. And on the supplier relationship, we have the three condition of the GH, which is observed relationship specific. In the advocate of TQM concept, the target would be a day-to-day assessing basis. And on the DGH training and orientation, we have once a month. Lastly would be the hospital classification. We have the PHIC regulatory requirements, so the target would be once a year. And on the DGH strong market position, we have 100 patients accommodated on its target. So on the customer perspective, we have the enrichment of doctors, which is the target would be 100 patients per day. And on the doctors relationship, so the target would be establish one new doctors per day. The room accommodation, we have the 50 beds to be occupied per day. Next would be the financial goals. We have the enhanced hospital financial condition and analysis. The target would be current financial resources done quarterly and the GH cash flows on a monthly basis. Next would be the expansion. So the target for this is 45% monthly increase in profit and also tracking previous records once a year. This is good for 10-year period. So this would be the business model canvas. You can just pause and read every key partners, key activities, value proposition, and etc. This would be the Porter's 5 forces model. So for the IS strategy, we have the organizational transformation analysis plan. So the highlight for this would be the sub-modules that will be implemented, effective employees and individuals, and also the ethical transformation plan. So on the sub-module to be implemented, we have the inventory module and says also this says ER. So the ethical transformation plan for the cashier employees, we have the upon implementation, most of the work of the cashier will be lessened and automated by the use of SAP Business One. And on the inventory clerk, we have the uh, inventory clerks will still have the jobs, but their work process will be speeding up and automated by the use of SAP Business One. And the human resource module, so the ethical transformation plan for this is the work of the HR generalist will be more enhanced due to the HR module sub. This is one since it will monitor all the information of all employees of the organization and their reports. So on the MRP, so the transformation plan would be with the help of the SAP Business One. The material planner manager group will be having an advantage in calculating the data for the production of medicines and the quality of the service in the organization. Next would be the resource management module. So, uh, so the work of the logistic managers will be more automated when finding medical equipments due to the MRP module of SAP Business One, and it can provide predictions and limitations of each materials, medicine supplies in their stocks. In the service module, we have the front desk. So front desk officers will have more advanced features of SAP Business One since it can track all the services rendered and received by the patients or customers. So on the project management module, we have the consultant manager group will be eliminated by the project manager since project managers has the advantage of using the project management module of SAP Business One. And on the financial module, we have the work process of the accounts will be speeding up and automated since SAP Business One has a module of finance that can manage and regulate all financial reports, sales, tax, and transactions. And lastly would be the administration module. So the work of housekeeping manager will be having a new agent new advantages in acquiring new analytics and more automated process due to the SAP Business One. So for the overview of SAP module organization information resources, so the highlights for this would be the strategic purpose, mode of acquisition, SAP modules, and organization information resources, and the total cost of ownership. So first is the SAP modules to be implemented. So we have the project management modules, the resource management and production management modules. So we have the information inventory module and uh, sales AR modules, which is the information granules for this would be the gross profit of pharmacy and hospital services. And on the human resource module, we have the accuracy of shifting schedules of nurses and nurse station, MRP modules, and human resource. So we have the quality control of hospital service and operations. And on the human resource modules, we have the biopower in terms of acquiring high-end professionals and doctor or physicians. And on the resource management and production management modules, you have the picking the right choice of suppliers, including laborers in medical equipments and pharmaceutical supplies. So next would be the service module. The importance of choosing the right geographical location in order to attract and be the most nearby hospital for those in need. And on the project management module, we have the purpose of proposed expansion project of DGH. And on the financial module, we have the company net income after tax was very low at their annual average. And on the administration, we have DGH was the first tertiary hospital in the region that was able to secure uh, the spot for accreditation in PHIC for passing quality standard evaluation. So let's talk about the acquisition costs. So the estimated acquisition cost would be 594,000 pesos, and the this would include the system implementation and software subscriptions. So in the hidden cost, so this is a 10-year projection. We have the estimated hidden cost would be 100,000 pesos, includes facility improvements and training cost. And on the ongoing cost, estimated ongoing cost would be 225 thousand pesos, includes system maintenance and staff augmentation. So let's talk about the change. So strategic IT change management plan. So the highlight for this is the external and internal triggers. So also the unfreezing activities, the refreezing activities, and lastly would be the summary. So in the external triggers for change, we have the competitors are one of the example of the external change that can occur in the Dadiangas General Hospital, because competitors are another reason why the Dadiangas General Hospital needs to implement SAP Business One. Many competitors are improving their operations to become more digital and automated. While in the internal triggers, so the following internal changes will be triggered are the changes to admin structure, factory, or office redesign, new IT equipments, and new techniques due to the implementation of SAP Business One. So next would be the Lewin's three change model. So on the unfreezing, we have the data migration, which is this activity explains the situation in migrating or transforming the data into the new one from excuse me, manual to transforming into a automated one. So on the training evaluation, we have this activity is need in this unfreezing phase since it measures and detects what needs to change for the organization and old function. And last will be the cost benefit analysis. So this activity guide organization when in weighing pros and drawbacks in a data-driven approach so that complex decisions may be made in methodical manner. So the implementation strategy for data migration would be always double check the data types required for migration and also having a specific plan to for what all this data will be moved and where it will be going for the correct position. So the affected sub-modules for this is the project management modules, administration modules, resource management modules. The affected individuals will be the consultant manager, housekeeping manager, and purchasing manager. So except for the purchasing manager, I I mean the consultant managers would be the pioneering, housekeeping would be the explorer, and purchase managers would be skeptics. So in the training, implementation strategy would be orient specific training programs, designing the appropriate training for new employees and staff, identifying the need of the training. So affected sub-modules would be the human resource modules and the inventory or sales AR modules. So affected individuals would be the HR modules, which is the innovators, and inventory clerks would be skeptics. Last will be cost benefit analysis. So create proper set of options in order for the organization to choose and rely on real case scenarios, detect the measurement indicators and its impact. So the schedule for this would be 1 month, and the affected sub-modules would be the financial modules, and the affected individuals would be the accountant groups, and they would be skeptic. The change activities, so this would be the use of new system and the training of new ERP system. So implementation strategy would be the implementation of SAP Business One must be focused on this strategy in order to accommodate each organization areas. So this would be good for 1 month, and the affected modules would be all modules, and the affected individuals would be the human resource department, service department group, inventory group, and they would be pioneer. Next would be the training of new system. So this is to evaluate all the employees that are assigned to use the new ERP system. So picking the right format for the training and setting a clear deadlines and rollout methods. So this would take 3 months, and all sub modules would be affected. So affected individuals would be inventory group, sales group, administration group, accountant group, and they would be skeptics. So next would be the freezing activities. We have the cost benefit analysis. So create proper set of options in order for the organization to choose and rely on real case scenarios, detect measurements, indicators, and its impacts. So this would take 2 months. Affected submodules would be financial modules. Affected individuals would be purchasing and accountant group. And there would be skeptics. And the post-evaluation, so this activity includes the aftermath of the implementation and evaluating the functional areas within. So check and reassess all the employees who are using the new implementation of new ERP system. So track the important changes following the implementation. So this would take 1 month. And all submodules would be affected, and also the individuals would be affected would be the administration department, and they would be innovators. So summary. Overall, the change management plans will reduce the impacts of the change on the business, employees, customers, and other key stakeholders. That would be all.